say precisely when. We will try to put together for you about 45 minutes highlight of the Nigeria-Namibia game. We'll try to get it for you. 45 minutes of the game so that you will see. For those who couldn't watch it when it was streaming live, you'll be able to see for yourself what happened in Windhoek when the Eagles forced Namibia to a 1-1 draw. But a lot of stories have come out from it because the Eagles, as we speak, are still in Windhoek. At this time, we expected that they should have been in Brazil. We'll talk about it in the next couple of minutes. But as we speak, the Eagles are still in Namibia. And it's looking rather embarrassing for Nigeria. We'll talk about it on the program in the next couple of minutes. We will also look forward to this weekend. FIFA Confederations Cup is starting. It's a competition of champions, and it's a very difficult competition because you are meeting your equals: African champions, European champions, CONCACAF champions, world champions, and everybody will be there. So we'll talk about it as we go on sports tonight. We will come back to Africa and look at 2014 World Cup qualifiers across the African continent. I'm sure that this weekend, some teams will book their places in the final round, in the playoff round of the World Cup qualifier for Africa. There's still one more round after this group round. This is just second round. After this round, there's still one more round, which is even the most crucial round of all the qualifying series. And we hope that Nigeria will be in the round and Nigeria will make it through from the playoff. All right, so we'll talk about it. And then, of course, being a Friday night, what we love to do is to reflect on the state of football in Nigeria. We will talk Nigeria Professional Football League. This weekend, we are playing week 19. And it looks like after this weekend, which is mid-season, we will have a break for a few days. And then it will give us an opportunity to play Federation Cup games and prepare for the second round of the season. We will also talk about the National League. It's been hit by withdrawals. Teams are withdrawing. A team has been expelled. We'll give you all the lowdown on Sports Tonight this Friday. We will take you to Akure, talk about the Governor Mimiko Under-18 international soccer competition that is going on. We'll be ending this weekend. And of course, we will take you abroad. Transfers everywhere, rumors everywhere. John Mikel Obi is also in the news. Is he going? Is he staying? We'll talk about it on Sports Tonight. Pellegrini, well, it's no longer news, really, because we've always known that this will happen. And we will also try to talk a little bit of basketball before we wrap it up on Sports Tonight. So my guys are ready to go. And I'm sure that the 50 minutes, you will enjoy it. And you will, have a lot to take away from the program this evening. Let's not waste any more time. Let's start with the drama. As we speak, the Eagles are still in Namibia. The story is already out. Failure couldn't agree. The NFF, the players, couldn't agree on the bonus to be paid. NFF cash trapped, proposing $5 million. $5,000. That was a couple of days ago. The players said, we'll go and think about it. And they came back and struck when those guys know how to strike when
the iron is very hot.
When the iron is very hot. Strike when the iron is very hot. And, they have really caught everybody unawares. Well,
Toyi, I've read a lot about this scandal. Some people...
Is it a scandal?
Well, an embarrassment.
It's an embarrassment. Well, if scandals are embarrassment, then it's a scandal.
Yeah, some people trying to crucify the players, calling them all sorts of names, But one thing we must say here, we cannot come here and pontificate and sermonize and say the players are, terrible, they have done that. A man is a product of his sociocultural milieu. If you get to a place where people are grabbing, there is a tendency that you too will want to grab. And I want to blame...
Grabbing spree.
Absolutely. I want to put everything at the doorstep of the Nigerian Football Federation. Tony, everything started when the NSC, National Sports Commission, came out with the policy, under the President Minister that they are going to deduct money for major tournaments from the regular allocation. And what I expected was for the NFF to have, seen what was going to happen ahead. They should have called the players before the Nations Cup and say, okay, your younger brothers, the Flying Eagles and the Eaglets, are going for crucial tournaments too. Let us see how we can make adjustments. And in making the adjustments, you should also lead by example. If you as the head of the family, you call your family member and say, okay, my fortunes are dwindling. please, if you are eating 8 slices of bread before, take 4. And every day they see you taking a loaf of bread. Of course, they are
not showing a sign that you are broke.
Absolutely.
You know, let's Dumnodi. This started even way before this present administration. Started 2010 when there was a presidential task force in charge of operations for the World Cup. The NFF at that time were paying $5,000. I mean, I don't know why million is always coming up. They were paying $5,000, but the PTF came and doubled it. And it became a norm. And at some point as well, we cannot completely say that the NFF do not have a part of the blame, because we have made it a culture of making monetary motivation the only means of motivating our teams.
Absolutely.
You want them to go and win a match for you, you promise double bonus. You want them to avoid defeat, you say double bonus. You do this, double bonus. You do that, double bonus. And it became a style. And those boys got used to double bonuses. And now it's difficult for them to go back to what was supposed to be the original figure. And Dumnodi, at $10,000 for a win, that was the highest and the craziest.
It's a lot of money.
Even at $5,000 for a win, it's still one of the highest in Africa.
I think there was a time they used to get $2,000 for a win. But when you look at the emergence of the PTF, because we were at a point where everybody wanted to be at the World Cup, because this is the first World Cup on the continent of Africa, so everybody wants to be part of that party. So the PTF came up, and they came with a lot of influences. We have governors, we have people who can throw out money, and that was when the demons we realized that
they had so much money, they didn't know what to do with the money.
Yeah, so but they never realized that. Of course, they never realized that the federation at one point you can't have that privilege of a PTF when it was set up there, because there was no PTF now. So we can't have those opportunities, and they never realized that the federation will remain. They will be with this player. Why you will go at one point, because you have a particular term which you will remain, because you have the terms of reference. Qualify for the World Cup. Then after the World Cup, you can go to do other business which you have been doing before. So we must see why this federation, because at the end of the day, you put them under serious pressure, because now they are complaining that there are no money. Now, where will they get this money from? And now we are approaching a crucial moment of our qualification for the World Cup. The FIFA Confederation Cup is another opportunity for us to showcase ourselves. If we don't do well at the FIFA Confederation Cup, where will the blame will go back to the Nigerian Football Federation? But I want to say this, that the players too understand one thing. The circumstances that led to 5,000 to 10,000, it was not. It's not the system. It was because somebody came and said, "Let's motivate you because we are at the brink of losing out of the World Cup. Let's motivate so that you can put your limbs, your head, everything into that into the pitch and get the result and get the ticket for us." But they should get that. Some of them are part of that old.
Only debate. 3 of them actually.
Okay, but of course there are
only 3 or 4. That's Echejele, Nyama, Mikel, and Osin Ejide.
Yes.
Maybe only 4.
4 of them. But I think they should have been aware that that particular situation was not what they wanted. It was just somebody just came and said, "Let me just give you money." It's an added incentive, not just because you played very well. But I don't want a situation where this team will go to another level, because at this point the players don't understand, the new boys don't understand. Like you said, like when you said it's like everybody wants to grab, and the players too want to have their own, because we know there's nothing wrong in getting appreciated for whatever you do for this country. These guys won the Nations Cup. You saw what they got. Almost every state hosted them, gave them money and all of that. If indeed the NFF is broke, we've spoken about the NFF in our own rights differently before, that they still need to do a lot more in terms of marketing and getting funds. But for now, all their funds come from government. And when Onye came to that, talked about it, when the Nations Cup budget was released, when the budget for this year was released, the Nations Cup budget was inside the entire budget for the NFF.
That's right.
Which was not the case before. Before it was supposed to be separate. Yes. But everything was lumped together, and it was not even the full figure. Yes. So, indeed, these guys do not have enough money. But at the same time, if there was a proper meeting between the players and the NFF, this should have been communicated to the players.
Absolutely.
I know there was a meeting, and the players said, "We will go and think about it and come back."
Where was the meeting held? That was
after the Kenya game.
You see,
or before the Kenya game. Before or after after the Kenya game.
The feedback.
They said we were going to come back.
Where was the Kenya game? It was March 26. Kenya game was March 26.
Now this is the coming back. They said we will go and think about it.
They
went and thought about it, and this is the.
But the coming back should have been before the game against Mexico.
The NFF should have
No. The game against Mexico came before the Kenya game.
The NFF
we played Mexico game before we played Kenya.
The NFF should have envisaged this situation.
That the players will reject it.
Not even that they will run into a crisis as it concerns